Hi everybody, it's Robert Dick, and this is a video for my special series made for flute specialists. And I would really urge that you consider flute specialists when you're looking for a flute or anything flute related. Now today I'm going to play and teach my Etude number 3 from Flying Lessons Volume 1. So if you order the music in this pretty plain cover, but with the music inside it, if you have a DVD player, one of those ancient things, or access to one, also get the 3 DVD instructional set. It will be an enormous help in learning this music from the flute point of view, and ultimately the most important, from the artistic point of view. Why is the music there? What's it supposed to do, and what's it mean? So I'm going to put these down. Pick up my Flute Specialist mug, have a sip of water. Put that down. Grab my flute and here we go. So this is number 3 from Flying Lessons Volume 1. It's a relatively short etude, and it goes through a lot of different kinds of moods in a very kind of deliberate way. You know, it's like something slowly moving, turning into light, going through the earth, doing all kinds of kind of magical things. There it is. Now, the piece begins with a tongue stop, which basically is made by sticking your tongue into the embouchure as if you were doing kind of that. Now, It's a very simple thing to do, but sometimes it can be pretty confusing because most of the tonguing we do is going backwards this way, and this is forwards. And it's not bouncing on the flute, it's just going right in there and staying till the sound comes out the end. Try it on a contrabass flute sometime. You're going to have to keep your tongue in the embouchure hole until you can actually hear the sound travel out the bottom. It's kind of amazing. So now, just to make this all more visible, a detached lip plate. So we can have the view from the other side. So what you want to do is surround the embouchure hole with your lips. No leakage out the sides, just, but the whole embouchure hole should be unobstructed. And then, this is going to look just as ridiculous as you think it will, stick your tongue in. And a little power assist from the breath can be very helpful, especially when it's supposed to be done loudly. Now, a key click on low G, use the G key for that. If your flute has a split E, you might get a better sound from the A key, but don't use the lowest key in the fingering. Go to something in the middle of the flute, you'll get the best resonance. And now, here's a note that is 8 beats long. The first 2 beats you sing, then you sing and play for 4 beats, and then you play for 2 beats, and it's all on a D natural. And you can get the pitch from the D natural key click. And the key to this is bringing your voice in gently. And make a nice decrescendo and take it out, while you still keep the air going. And now we're going to sing a low B. And use the lips to bring more harmonics into the... Okay, that's not done by blowing harder. It'll hurt your voice. Don't do that. Just... And a good exercise to learn this. Okay, done with the lips. Now, I'm going to play a low C for 2 beats, and then bring in the voice on low C, and it's going to go up to C sharp and back. And use your ear to make sure you're just going to C sharp and not some other note. And as you sing through the C sharp, you can hear these beats starting. So they should start nice and slow, and then flutter and slow down. And turn out a little bit as you sing upwards, and back in as you sing downwards. Okay? Now, F sharp, sforzando piano. And please use the dynamics in this music. It was written by a flute player who understands the flute, I hope, and whose personal goal, I know, was to make you sound great. but it's going to be very important that you use the dynamics. Not only will the music sound like music, but stuff will work. And then we're going to bring in the voice on F sharp. Ooh. It's kind of like stepping on a wah-wah pedal. Ooh, wow. And now, over 4 beats, play an F sharp and glide your voice to a G sharp. I'm going to the very top of my vocal range now. For female flutists, this will be easy, really easy. And then for 2 beats, you sing G sharp, and you play G sharp, F sharp, G sharp. So the whole thing. Okay, now, an island of beauty and repose, a multiphonic island. On YouTube, check out Your First Multiphonic. It's a video I made there. It's waiting for you. And it'll be very helpful. So I'm not going to reprise every single thing now. There just isn't time. But the critical thing is throat tuning. And there are 3 videos on YouTube. Throat tuning's part 1, 2, and 3. Watch them all, not just part 1. In multiphonics, the lowest note is virtually always the throat tuning note. Now, it's certainly easy to get the pitch of the C because we're going to start by playing it. To feel, ooh, we're not going to sing it, but you have to hold your voice as if you were going to. As if you're going to go, ooh, okay? In the octave that's free and comfortable for you. So the throat tuning line, and you should practice it by singing it, is C, E flat, D, or C, E flat, D. Now I'm just going to play the lower notes as I use the multiphonic fingerings. Okay, that's the part you're going to lock your ear onto. Now, the first 3 multiphonics, that's easy. But now we come to this, in terms of fingering, now we come to this fingering. That's the equivalent of low C with the ring of the E key open. And make sure the entire center hole is open. Okay, actually the ring is closed, the center hole is open. And there's C sharp and C on the foot. So now during the multiphonic before it, the indication is that the D sharp key is up, so you can move your hands into position, right? Just get ready and then just drop. Okay? And now, to get from here to there, we're going to just hop up, over, down. Okay, don't try to slide. There'll be all kinds of collisions. Okay. And there's going to be a tiny little silence, but we're going to phrase over it and make it sound like it's not there. Now, going to play a C, change to the multiphonic C and D, which is the regular third octave D fingering, but we're going to introduce the voice singing an octave lower. Actually, this is 2 octaves lower. Ooh is correct. And those Martian notes that appear are difference tones. They're neither sung nor played. Isn't that cool? I love them. Okay, now some key clicks, and again use the G key. That's a middle D with the thumb up. And now that's a large interval multiphonic. On YouTube, you will also find a video called The 3 Types of Multiphonics, because there are 3 types. Small intervals, the whole step and less. Medium ones, from about the minor third to the major 10th. And large intervals, the major 10th and more. For large intervals, you do them differently than the other 2. It's a single pitch airstream. We're not going to try to reach both notes, only the low note. And instead of reaching out with the upper lip, I'm going to push down and blow. Okay? So now, the 2 notes are B flat and F, a 12th above, and the fingering is the regular high F fingering. So here's a good way to find the sound. Play a low B flat using the F key fingering. Tell yourself you're going to play it as loud as you've ever played it in your life. And then while you're playing it, just drop the G key down and don't change a thing. Okay? It takes some practice, but if it's not happening, don't back away. Imagine you're in a car with only a gas pedal, just step on the gas. Okay, now we need to find an E natural by ear. Not that hard. Here's the F. And a tritone on the bottom. So okay, it's the same idea as early in the piece, just going a little further. And now, play a low F sharp, sforzando pianissimo, but with the C sharp and C key on the foot. And then crescendo. And these beats will enter the sound. That's because the third partial is not perfectly in tune with the fundamental. And why not? Because we changed its pitch a little bit. Okay? That's low F with the C sharp, C, and B key. It's the same sound transposed down a half step. So again, this is another form of the arches that we find in this piece. You know, I was in Ireland once, and it really is the land of rainbows. And think of all these arches as, you know, incredible rainbows. Now there's a small interval multiphonic, hard to stabilize, got to blow really consistent. And this is the fingering, bringing this finger to the D trill key and this finger to the D sharp key, keep that open. And now, don't try to do this with air, well, it's hard to resist, I know, but try to keep the air as steady as you can and dial it in with the angle of the flute. The lower note will be turned in, the upper note will be turned out. And using a nice abdominal motion, keep the air steady. And now, our last rainbows. So you can play low C. Just hold the low C. Change its volume as little as you can. Use the lips and go as high up in the harmonic series as you can. Then change to low B. But start with your lips set as if you're going to play a high B. So once again, those two. And there we have it. Our trip through this magic land of rainbows and arches and sound that's vibrating within itself and notes that are appearing out of nowhere, not sung, not played. And, you know, the thing is, as you play this piece, of course, when you first work on it, it's going to take a lot of work on the individual sounds, but spend time in your practice without the flute, just imagining the music. Imagining, you know, if playing the flute was no problem at all, how would it go? What would it feel like? Why would you play it that way? And then you'll know what to practice towards. And so the interpretive process starts at the same time as the technical process. It isn't one, then the other. They happen in parallel, although in the beginning the interpretive process will happen without the flute. And that's very, very, very valuable practice. You know, it's when you're really working on your musicianship as well as your flute playing. So I do hope that you'll want to learn all 6 of these etudes. There's even a second set, another 6, which go to some really different and cool places. And I want to thank Flute Specialists once again. You can order this music through them. And again, if you do have a DVD player or access to one, get the DVD set. It'd be like having me as your teacher for 6 hours. And it was beautifully produced. So that's it for now. So we'll see you next time on the Flute Specialist Series. It's Robert Dick. Bye-bye.